Hello, my beautiful motorheads. Welcome to FÉROCE, where we inspire you to live fiercely. Today, we are doing our meet and pre-ride up to the Fährt Moto event at the Catskill Brewery. And people are starting to show up at the Stewarts, which was our meeting location. And then we are going to get going and head up towards the Catskill Brewery. It'll be really interesting to see who shows up. I'm excited to meet the people who are part of the FÉROCE community that I have not yet met. And there's also going to be some of my friends, which is always super fun. A lot of us are too busy to ride together during the year, so this is a great excuse to get everybody together on a glorious day and do some amazing Catskill roads.
After everyone had gassed up, we did a brief meeting to lay out the plans for the ride so people would know what to expect. Because we had so many riders, we decided to break into two groups, which would allow us to be a bit more agile and ride at a quicker pace. You might notice that I'm using my new DJI action camera to record some of the ride and event. It definitely takes some getting used to. I quickly realized that it's a bit challenging to organize a ride, lead it, film, host, socialize, and try to be present for the experience. It's definitely something I need to work on, or at least figure out how to delegate some things to other people. You'll notice that my camera angle could use some improvement. As I was walking around the Fährt event and talking to people, I was waving the camera around and forgetting that it was on. Hopefully that doesn't make you too sick to watch. I had not set up the remote mic for it, so the sound suffered, and I'm doing this as in voiceover. Besides that, now that I'm starting to get the hang of the camera, it will be fun to see how to use it creatively. We had beautiful weather for the ride. Once we got out of town, the weekend traffic died down and the roads opened up. We dealt with the typical few bad drivers, but overall, it was a nice ride. We had both groups meet at about the middle of the ride at an overlook on the reservoir. It gave everyone a chance to be able to take a break, stretch their legs, look over their bikes, and enjoy the Catskill beauty. And more importantly, to chit-chat with other riders and get to know each other. A big part of doing this ride was to bring the FÉROCE community together and for people to connect with other like-minded folk. When we showed up at the Catskill Brewery, our friends from Fährt, Rodrigo and Tom, greeted us and helped us park. Some people opted out of the pre-ride and just met us at the event. Some people are not into group riding, or they were coming from the opposite direction and it didn't make sense for them to do the ride. I really have to say that I was thrilled and honored by everyone who showed up. I got to meet Mike and Tom from Geistwolf. They came all the way from the Buffalo area. What a hoot to talk to them both about motorcycles, building bikes, community garages, racing, the show, etc. They have some cool projects brewing, and I have no doubt that we will be talking in the future about those projects. I also appreciate their generosity of spreading the word about the podcast and always being such strong supporters. They're just the coolest, and they have some sick Harleys. Honda loaned me the CB 750 Hornet, which I had to show off. It is the perfect bike for the ride. As soon as I swung a leg over, I felt comfortable on it. It's so easy to ride, nimble, even power delivery, and good looks. Our furthest rider was a regular watcher and supporter of the show, Brian, who came from Indiana. It was a joy to meet him in person. I asked him what made him want to come all this way for it, and to paraphrase, he said that he was retired and it looked like a cool event and he's always looking for places to travel to. I love that this was a destination for him. We talked about where he was going to head to from the Catskills. This is a good example of I was so focused on talking to Brian and getting to know him that I forgot to video any part of it and didn't even take a selfie with him. So I guess, Brian, that just means you're going to have to do next year's ride too. A lot of the day was spent finally meeting people in person. Not only people who watched the show, and I felt like I already knew them because they were avid commenters in the videos or have emailed or direct messaged me, or we met through various social channels. I also got to meet some social media people in person, like Ryan Snelson from Motivelli, who was in episode 20, Alan and Aaron of Basecamp Brooklyn. I saw Bucky in the city, which is always a treat. A bunch of people showed up that I had met or knew from Dirt Days. Another Brian, Marianne, Ron, and Victoria, who finally got to enjoy a ride and not lead one for once. Then a bunch of people showed up that saw my posts on Instagram, and it clicked with them that they lived relatively close and could join in. I love when the algorithm works for the good of all. A big shout out to my friends who came to ride and support, the BFF, Sabine, Turu, and Christopher. At a certain point, I just stopped filming. As I rode home alone, I had time to reflect on the day and the success of the event. I understand the lone wolf rider. Maybe group riding is not your cup of tea. The real gold of the event was the meetup part. There is magic in sharing your passion with like-minded people. And when I say like-minded, I don't mean the same political or religious views. The crowd that showed up was very diverse and very welcoming. All the crap that people worry about and obsess about, it melts away when you're around moto people. It's so important to have the experience of being around other people that share your quirky passion for motorcycles and riding. Other people who understand the moto language, the culture, the need to travel, experience speed, and spend ungodly amounts of money on gear and aftermarket parts, or even obsess about finding the perfect Sunday route. The place was buzzing with positive energy. A lot of people didn't even go out and do the routes that were provided. They opted to stay and talk with other riders there. People made new friends and connections, and I really could not have asked for anything more, except for the on-site food truck to produce the food faster. There's always one thing to improve, right? Major thank you to Fährt to finding the venue, coordinating the meetup, and the planned routes with the Catskill Moto Club. I would like to make the FÉROCE ride a yearly event. I'm super happy with the outcome of it, and I truly love meeting everyone in person. If you're interested in participating in the next ride, which will probably be in 2026, please like and subscribe so you can stay updated on everything going on. If you sign up for the newsletter, you will receive 10% off your first FÉROCE purchase. Doing these events and producing the show costs money. If you're feeling like you would like to go the extra mile, you can support the show via donation with Buy Me a Coffee, or as I like to say, buy me an oil change. You can link here via the QR code or through the show notes. Thank you for being such a great community. Ride smart. Ciao.